There's a few times in there that he looked to cover up against the cage, and then he sort of acted as if he wasn't hurt at all. Was that just him playing possum, do you think, or was he just quick at recovering?
No, I think he was, I don't want to say scared, but he was definitely, didn't want to get hit, didn't want to take a big shot, so he was really focused on covering. And at times, I think he was just trying to wait for me to really come in, and he was just going to try to fire off some big shots. But I think he was really just trying to protect himself as much as possible.
When you see a guy covering up like that and they're not really offering anything other than just covering up, is it hard to stop yourself from just going crazy and trying to take him out right then and there?
Well, I feel like I did that a couple times, but it was like, then I realized, well, I'm landing more on his cover and his arms and stuff than I am actually landing on his face. So, in those situations, I needed to take my time a little bit more and try to find those clean shots rather than just trying to pour it on him and burn energy for no reason.
Despite the fact it was a dog fight and definitely not your first one of those, are you still content with your performance? I know you said you wanted an early finish, but to be able to go 15 minutes, to be able to get into a brawl and still come up on top is worth something, no?
Yes, absolutely. Especially, coming back from a back injury, maybe people thought, if I was going to be able to come in there and push like that I have before in the past, or maybe get through a fight like that. And I think I showed that, I'm right back in it and I'm ready to go.
How is the back?
Great. I have no issues at all. Feeling, like I said, through all the interviews, I'm feeling better than I've ever felt before. This is just the first step back, and, we're going to keep climbing, keep swimming to the top.
Last one for me. We've seen a lot of guys that stay very, very busy from just being around their fighting weight, being around Vegas, and sort of just getting ready to get in there. Now that you feel so healthy, you've had a win tonight, is that something you want to do as well, or you want to take some time?
Yes, absolutely. I want to get it back in there as soon as possible. They gave me a little suspension just because it was a 3-round fight and kind of back and forth. But I hope to, minimize that suspension maybe, go to see a doctor, see if I can get healthy, or, I'm good. And I want to get right back in there. I want to get 2, maybe 3 before the year ends. I got a lot of room, a lot of time to make up for, and I look to do that.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
After the time away, I'm sure there was a lot of questions that you had for yourself. I know you felt that the back probably felt good, but coming in with a couple losses, some people might think that there was pressure to make sure you get the win, but was there more pressure for you just to wonder how you felt fight-wise, just getting in there?
No, not really. As far as that is, I got that through in training camp, on my way back. There was times where I was questioning myself, if I could even do it, if I pushed too hard, my back gonna hurt too much. When it came time to finally actually let go and get into camp, it was just like, okay, well, we gotta go, we gotta see. So, better now than down the road to find out. So we went 100% in camp, pushed it all the way. Back held up great. I never had any issues. So I was ready to go coming in there.
I can see where somebody going through the back surgery might have a lot of questions and a lot of doubts and maybe want to maybe not push themselves 100% in training camp because they want to save it for a fight. How did you motivate yourself, and how did you keep yourself working through any maybe mental blocks that popped up in training?
Yeah, there was those mental blocks, especially because I got to 240 pounds, the heaviest I've ever been, on my start back. So it was just, my mind fighting me back, telling me, I want to quit and stop and not want to push forward. And, the motivation and inspiration was my kids, my wife and my kids. They're over there. My wife's taking care of this, our farm and taking care of the kids and running everything, by herself. The kids are stepping up and doing the extra work around the farm to help her out, help me out. I couldn't let them down, so it's just I got to push 100% into camp. And once it was time to try my back, I knew I had to go 100%, whether it was going to be bad or it was going to be fine. I had to test it, and I did, and it was 100% the whole way.
That's great. At the end of the second round, you definitely kind of sort of amped it up a little bit and was really charging at him. Going in that third round, did you already feel confident that you had 2 rounds in the bag, and did you really want to come out in the third and make sure that you took the fight?
I didn't feel confident that I had 2 rounds in the bag. I thought they were back and forth. My corner told me that it was close. The first round was really close. He said he thought I had the second, but he said we got to go out there and get it. We got to go out there and push the pace and get in his face and wrestle hard in those situations. So just brought that extra pressure and really made sure I got the win.
Nice one. Last one for me. I see an assortment of colors today. They couldn't settle on one particular choice?
We did red, white, and blue for the fingers,
very nice.
the American flag. And
yep.
See my toes? We got yellow,
Well,
blue, and red for the Colombian flag. So that's my daughter. She decided on the colors all by herself, and that's what she wanted to do. Hers are actually matching mine right now.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
congrats, Bam Bam, on the win. Just give me a little bit of that emotion, because right when the decision was announced and you were confirmed the winner, you dropped to your knees. Tell me a little bit about that, please.
You know, like I said, it's been a long road. You know, I put in a lot of hard work, put in a lot of time, a lot of questioning myself. You know, a lot of back and forth. My body's held up, and you know, it's been a lot for my wife and my kids. You know, they've really stepped up and taken care of everything. The farm, you know, it's not just an everyday job. It's, you know, you got a whole crew of animals to take care of and everything as well. So, you know, they really stepped up. There was a lot on the line. It was never about coming in on, you know, 2 losses. That didn't matter to me. I fought some of the best in the world. I'm not ashamed. You know, okay, I came up short, but you know, I knew bigger thing was just I wanted to go in there and I wanted to show, you know, myself, my wife, and my kids, all the hard work they put in, that it was well deserved with a win.
Thank you, sir. Congrats.
Thank you.
Oh, what do you produce on your farm?
We do black Angus beef. We have farm fresh eggs. We have show goats, shoats, as my friend Scott Holtzman would call them, the shoats. And they produce milk, and we make goat soap. We're going to start doing goat lotion. We've drank the goat's milk as well.
Oh, wow. So, you know, being a farmer, it's not only a full-time job, but a lifestyle. How do you manage that with your fighting career?
Great support system. Like I said, my wife and my kids, amazing. You know, none of us grew up on a farm, grew up around livestock or anything. We wanted a lifestyle change 3 years ago, and we wanted to raise our kids differently and in a different kind of lifestyle and be as self-sufficient as possible and know what kind of food's coming onto our table and everything. So we moved to right outside Knoxville, Tennessee, bought some land, had a house on it, and it was perimeter fence, but we've done all the fencing, got all the animals, started from scratch, done all the fencing, cross fencing, and just kind of reviewed, looked up stuff. My neighbors helped us put fencing up and everything, and got into it, man. Started raising cattle, and it's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. And like you said, it is a full-time job every single day, and it's definitely not. I'm not doing it by myself. My wife and my kids, they are always there. They're big helps about it, and they love it too. And I feel like raising my family in that environment is going to be great for their entire life.
What was the catalyst to make that decision?
It's just something we wanted. You know, when I was growing up, I was a little kid. My grandpa from Colombia lived with us, and he used to tell me about a farm that he had in Colombia, and he would tell me all about the animals, and it was like every night he would tell me about his farm. And, you know, it was like, well, at times it was like, well, I don't even think he had a farm. Well, he actually ended up having a farm, and when he passed away, I found out, and it had gotten split up between families and stuff like that and taken away, but it's just something that always stuck with me. So as I got older and had my kids, I started talking about it with my wife. I wanted to go all straight up homestead, off grid, you know, solar panels, dug well, whatever. And, you know, she was like, no, you know, no way. And then she researched more and, you know, more about like living the country life and everything like that and how we could be self-sufficient and have a big garden and everything as well. And she started falling in love with it. And, you know, living in the city all our lives and, you know, everything going on, it's like we really wanted to step back and raise our kids a little bit differently and teach them some life skills, some morals, you know, and some, you know, the country life and everything, and just, you know, living good off your land and everything, and how you know what's going into your food and everything. So we decided to just jump out and go after it, just out of nowhere. I came back from my fight in Rotterdam after I fought Leon Edwards, and we found a house that weekend as a rental, so we could move out there and start looking, and moved that next weekend. Like literally just got to go. And
have you noticed a difference in it affecting your fight career with the, you know, change of lifestyle, clean eating?
Definitely cleaner eating. You know, just being part of the land, being out in the land all the time, and being with the animals and stuff. But definitely it has its hard points as well. You know, I travel for camp. You know, before it was a 10-minute drive to the MMA lab in Phoenix, and I'd go and train. My kids would come with me and sit on the mat and watch me train and everything. And, you know, it was easy. My wife went to her job and worked and everything. Now it's, you know, I'm traveling. I'm traveling, training in Knoxville. It's a 45-minute drive to Knoxville. And then for camps, I'm driving to North Carolina to Jimmo to train with my team for my fight camps, and being gone all week, coming home on the weekends. So there is its challenges and struggles, and makes it different and difficult. But I think the reward of having it and calling it ours and knowing everything in the life we're living is more pure. So it's definitely worth it.
Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Bryan. First of all, having grown up as a country girl on a farm, I can certainly appreciate what your lifestyle's been in. And props to your wife for holding down the family in terms of the work that has to be done and the kids. What's harder for you, getting up at 4:30 in the morning to tend to the animals, or having to get up after hard days of training and needing to go back into the gym?
That's tough because both days have their own challenges. They're super tough and wear and tear on the body. I'd say it's harder to get up to do the farm stuff, but it's not really hard. It's you get used to it. You start getting up and going, and it just becomes part of your life. But there's a little bit more motivation when I'm gone at camp, and I'm there. I'm away from my family. I don't want that. I want to be with them at all times. So it's really, really hard for me to be away from them. And so that gives me that extra drive to, if I need to be up early to go into extra training camp or an extra session and put in the extra time, I'm going to take advantage of all the extra time that I need to put in while I'm away, just to be able to get a win come fight night. Thank you, everybody.